I've just learned something revolutionary. The music is on my laptop does not impact the volume that OBS picks it up at. So I have actually got it a little bit louder than usual because it's usually very, very quiet and I usually can't hear it. But I actually can this time. I'm going to turn it down a little bit more though. I think that's a good volume for me, but it's no different for you, so that's kind of cool. Hello everybody, Jakestemmet here, and welcome to week 5 of TEC. We're going up against Jakestemmet and the Boston Bronzongs. Sorry if I butchered that. This is a really horrible matchup for me to deal with. I'll be perfectly honest about that. And I'm actually doing something slightly different here, similar to how I had to do it with my ADWL battle. There are likely going to be changes made to this team during this section of the video, because I'm really struggling to think about the 6 that he brings, and hopefully doing this intro section where I talk about his team is going to help me try and work out which 6 he brings, and then if I need to make any prep adjustments for that. Coming off a rough loss last week as well due to the shenanigans with the mega button, I'm just going to be very careful with that in the future, pretty much. That is something that will never happen again. If that mistake didn't happen, I most likely did win the game from there, and Absol probably picked up 4 kills. Eventually, I just needed a bit of damage on the Mew, literally like 20% on the Mew, and then the game was over pretty much because Blaze was slower, and Flaky died to Sucker Punch. But hopefully going to try and bounce back despite a really rough matchup here. Let's talk about Jake's team and see if there's any changes I'm going to make to my one. So Mega Venusaur is there. It's worth mentioning he's a replacement coach that came in to replace Snek, who I played last season, or Lucas, and he made a lot of changes to the team. I think he only kept ZAPDOS. So take the order the Mons are there as a with a pinch of salt. It's not the order they would draft or anything. I think Lucas took Mega Scizor round 1, but Mega Venusaur is there now. Just really, really bulky mon. It checks Coco very, very well, at least like a standard Coco. You can see the Coco I'm actually bringing there, which kind of deals with it quite well. But especially defensive Venusaur is just very bulky. It's quite tough for me to deal with Coco. I do have stuff like ZAPDOS, which deals with it quite well though. It is going to check Absol quite well though, because it can't get knocked off. It's not going to take much from knockoff. It's not going to take much from the coverage moves. Thick Fat is just such a good ability. And I lack outside of ZAPDOS stuff that's really going to massively threaten it, because I don't have like my psychic type is I do have like a Delphox, but Delphox doesn't appreciate hits, and Starmie is a water type, so it's going to like a Giga Drain coming off of the Venusaur either. So it can just sit there and be very, very annoying. ZAPDOS is absolutely incredible. It really, really is. It is so good at so many different things. It can be offensive, but in this matchup, it does incredibly well, just being the best Galarian ZAPDOS check out there. It resists its dual stab. Name another mon that resists Galarian ZAPDOS' dual stab. I can think of one, and it's Aegislash, because it's immune to fighting and then resists flying. That's why I paired it with Aegislash that season. But ZAPDOS is just incredible at it. And Static is very annoying as well, because anything that makes contact with it can get parried, which includes ZAPDOS. And the team is set up so well in terms of just being really tough for me to break, because you look down the team and think, oh, ZAPDOS is really good. But regular ZAPDOS is the best check to it out there, so how am I meant to deal with that? Makes it really, really, really tough. Latios is just a great offensive mon. I feel like a calm mindset would do a lot of work against me. Thankfully, in a sense, his team is so incredibly bulky to the point where Latios has to be offensive in this game. Otherwise, he doesn't have anything offensive, and we could be in for an incredibly long game again, which I really don't need another one of those. So hopefully that doesn't happen. But no, it's a really strong one. In the end, just hits really, really hard, gets a ridiculous amount of coverage with stuff like Mystical Fire now. So it can hit Celesteela super effectively, that is a thing. And Dragon's just a great stab in general, and Psychic's great as well. Excadrill is definitely a bring here. I think Scarf Excadrill is very, very good, because it'll be faster than Coco. It'll be faster than ZAPDOS, and faster than Absol, and it can hit all those ones really, really hard. It's good at threatening Florges as well. However, I do have a Celesteela, which is going to respond to it very, very well. So it's not a guaranteed bring, but I think it's a pretty likely bring. On his end, Chandelure I'm less sure about coming to this one, because I showed last week that I dealt very well with a Cephalon with Swampert, although it did get a kill in the end. No, Chandelure can hit very, very hard. Again, Scarf would be good for the same reason that I just said Scarf Excadrill would be quite good, because it'd be faster than all my offense. However, it does just get Sucker Punched and die. It also doesn't really get an opportunity to get attacks off, because it's slower than all my offense if it's not Scarfed. and it kind of just dies before it gets to do anything. He could bring it as a way to threaten Celesteela though, which he does kind of lack otherwise, though he does have a ZAPDOS obviously. So that's a thing. Chansey's just an incredible special wall. It walls stuff like Coco well. It walls Starmie very, very well, even if I have Psyshock. But obviously it does get bopped by ZAPDOS, does get bopped by Absol as well, so it depends on what else he brings, whether he brings the Chansey on. Slurpuff is a very good Absol check. Physically defensive, just takes hits really nicely. He can also deal okay with ZAPDOS. If I'm not banned, which he doesn't know what I'm going to try and do there, he may not risk that. It's also a webs option, which I have once again actually not brought removal here, because at least I don't now, because I valued other things in this one, and webs would be pretty annoying, but not the end of the world, I don't think. Yeah, it would be a tough one though, for sure. I'm not sure if he brings it that way though. I think he maybe goes full bulk with Wish Protect and maybe wants to run Flamethrower for Stealer, which I think could be a really good option for him. So there's maybe not space for webs on a bulky set, and then in terms of an Unburdened set, it could happen if he runs like Unburdened but still has Flamethrower or something. Although that wouldn't boost his physical attack because I don't know. I don't really massively anticipate it because Stealer is always just going to one-shot it with Heavy Slams, so not sure how likely that is. I've also run Scarfers this season that have been faster than Unburden Boost and Slurpuff as well. Vaporeon is very bulky, but it does just lose to Coco, so I'm not sure how likely to bring it is there. Physically defensive, can take on Absol and ZAPDOS alarmingly well though, for not resisting the hits. Although again, ZAPDOS is better at that, and Slurpuff is better at that respectively. Or reverse respectively, because I said Absol first. It can be a good wish passer though if he wants to maybe give health back to extra dual kite a bit and use extra dual kite offensively and try and keep using it in this one. Sneasel, I don't have massively great switch-ins that I've brought, but I think from his perspective, every single mon I've already said is a better bring than Sneasel, or from his perspective, because Sneasel is going to die to anything Celesteela wants to do. It's never going to break through Celesteela. It's never even going to break through something like a Swampert. It just gets bopped there as well, so I don't massively anticipate Sneasel. Almaldo, I don't even know what it does, to be honest. Once again, there's just better things you can bring, in my opinion. Frogadier you could definitely bring. It's allowed to use Protein here, so it's maybe slightly undervalued at 2. It can be quite annoying, because obviously it can run stuff like, I don't think it gets a fire move, but it can run stuff like Gunk Shot and then actually deal with Florges quite well if he wants to go that way. And then cropped off at the bottom, because this team has 12 mons, is Pig Knight, which I've cropped off because it's a Pig Knight. And that has helped me absolutely not at all in choosing which 6 I think he brings. Once again, thanks to Raccoon for salvaging my prep from the bottom of a dustbin, because I did not prep well for this one initially at all, once again. And I think it is slightly better now. Some stuff got changed. Not a whole lot though. It's a tough matchup for me to break through. If he goes full bulk in this matchup, I'm going to really struggle. Because he just walls pretty much all my team some way or another. It's really tough for me to break through the defensive core. He definitely brings Venusaur's ZAPDOS. That's kind of what we decided was the definites. He could go so many different ways with this that it's really tough to prep for, because I don't know what I'm trying to prep for. I don't know whether I'm trying to prep for what could be a very offensive build with like offensive ZAPDOS, offensive Latios, Swords of Dance Excadrill, Chandelure coming specs or whatever. I don't know whether I'm trying to prep on like Belly Drum Slurpuff. I don't know if I'm trying to prep for that, or if I'm trying to prep for Max Bulk, ZAPDOS, Venusaur, Bulky Carmine, Lati, Chansey, Vaporeon, Wish Pass, or something like that. Because both give me a lot of problems, and I've had to try and equally prep for both. And in the process, haven't really prepped that well for either. Let's get into what I've got right here, right now, and I'll see if I change anything, which I'm maybe not going to. Starting off with an item that for some reason didn't change. We've got this Coco here, and this is physical Coco with the Life Orb, with Roost, Wild Charge, Brave Bird, and U-Turn. Yeah, I'd be thinking, well, a bit counterproductive to have the Life Orb and the Roost. You're going to be taking so much damage from Recall with Wild Charge and Brave Bird and stuff. And there's that, what is this set? This is basically my only way of potentially breaking through the defense here, and even then, this doesn't two-shot Chansey somehow, because I have to run not timid, it's Jolly Coco. It's Jolly because I have to outspeed the Sneasel, because Sneasel can actually cause me a lot of problems if I don't do that. But I don't quite two-shot the Chansey. If it's chipped slightly, I will, obviously, but from full it won't. So it can just sit in front of Coco eventually, but I can also just roost in front of it as well, and it's not going to do that much. Obviously, the main thing it can do is Seismic Toss or Toxic, and I have made sure 100%, because this match could go very much to a Toxic Stall scenario. I have made sure I have Heal on this team 100%, because I do not want to get Toxic Stalled here. That's a very easy way for me to lose. Wild Charge is a 2-shot on ZAPDOS with the Life Orb. That's why I have the Life Orb, is to make sure the ZAPDOS is a 2-shot. There is also a chance, if it's fully Spadef Venusaur, that Wild Charge plus Brave Bird can just flat out kill. Especially if he doesn't Mega Evolve when he comes in the first time, it will take a bit more from the Wild Charge, and then, in which case it definitely does. Because I would expect especially defensive Venusaur to try and check the Coco really well in this matchup. Or he may not go that route because he would anticipate me bringing Brave Bird, and instead hard goes kind of a very specially bulky drill to try and deal with me, and then being physical is nice there as well because I'll do a bit more damage. And then U-turn is there just because it's the click to start with, because I don't want to reveal too much about my set at the start, hopefully, unless he doesn't bring drill, in which case Wild Charge is definitely the click. And U-turn does like 80% to Lati. It's actually the hardest thing against the Lati. Brave Bird does like 70 Wild Charge, obviously isn't going to do as much, so I can work with that. And that's what I was saying, in worst case scenario with the Lati card riding or something, Absol can just come in and kamikaze and knock it off for like 80%. It dies, then ZAPDOS is here, and it will kill with U-turn. Even if he kind of tries to roost all out my knockoffs and stuff, in terms of like the lower damage, any kind of damage is good enough for then Coco to be able to kill with U-turn, so that's kind of what we're going for. And having U-turn as a kill is quite nice, because I will always be able to revenge kill the Lati or get momentum off it in most scenarios, which I think is really cool and really oppressive here. And Brave Bird's just a nice click for stuff like the Venusaur. I deal with Slurpuff quite well. I think I just about 2-shot Slurp. Still a 60.5% chance to 2-shot, even with leftovers. So that's kind of what that Coco is working with. We have to have the Life Orb for that damage, even though it's quite annoying with me having to. I will have to play this very, very well in terms of timing of roosts, which if he brings Chansey, that actually helps me in a sense, because it makes my roosts easier to go for, because Chansey can never hit back for that much, whereas something like a Slurpuff can hit back quite hard. Something like an extra was obviously going to kill me back in return, so it's all about being careful with this Coco. Don't want to throw it away. It can win in the late game, it can break in the early game. It's hopefully going to be able to get rid of a Mon on his team in the early-ish game to try and break through that defense. Because essentially this is either going to be a really close game, or I will get bopped like 4 or 5-0 because I just won't be able to break the defense. If I can just break that defense early, similar to how I was able to get on the front foot against Prison the other week, just by getting rid of one of his pieces really early, by breaking through with ZAPDOS. Hopefully I can do the same thing here and just get rid of one of the defensive pieces, which hopefully is going to be that Venusaur. I mean, Wild Charging plus Brave Birding into it and surprising it. So hopefully that's going to be what can go down. This Celesteela is especially defensive to the max, because this is going to be checking Lati. It's obviously not checking ZAPDOS. It checks Drill anyway, even without the physical defense, because obviously it's immune to Earthquake. Iron Head isn't resisted. It's going to be like 20%. Having a dual check to Lati and Drill is really, really nice here, because they're his two main offensive threats in this one, most likely. You've got Leech Seed, Protect, Air Slash, and Heavy Slam. Air Slash is just there because it gives you something that actually hits the Venusaur quite hard. It does like 40% to like a mixed set, so it's probably going to do a little bit less to especially defensive, which is probably what he runs. Because Celesteela is also obviously going to be my switch into the Venusaur in most scenarios, so I can't Leech Seed it, so I want to be doing a bit of damage to it. Venusaur is definitely an issue for me to deal with 100%, because I struggle to switch into it as well. And then Heavy Slam does a lot of stuff, like it does like 40% to Lati, is going to kill Sneasel, kill Slurpuff, I believe, or it gets close to killing Slurpuff. I do forego, I originally had Flamethrower. I do forego Flamethrower to hit Drill, but I feel like between Leech Seed and stuff, Drill shouldn't be too much of a problem. And I have stuff that's going to revenge kill the Drill if it is Swords Dance, because he doesn't have a Sand Setter, so known for out being ridiculously fast. Protect is cool, just because it can give me Leech Seed recovery. If he doesn't bring Venusaur for some reason, Leech Seed plus Protect is so good here. And Heavy Slam's just there, just in case it's like... I had to go Heavy Slam just because I didn't hit Lati hard enough otherwise, and Lati I think is more of a concern here to me than Drill is, because Lati is obviously just a bit bulkier. I don't have... if it's Swords Dance Drill, ZAPDOS can just kill it afterwards, or... something else can just kill it. Absol can just kill it, whereas Lati, it's not that easy, so I wanted to prioritise dealing with the Lati quite well here. And there was something else that it was good for as well. Obviously, Forgo Earthquake as well for something like Chandelure, but I have other stuff to do with Chandelure. I think it's the least likely of those brings. Obviously, Vaporeon can just sit in front of me as well, which is pretty annoying, but I can Leech Seed it, do that stuff. I can Leech Seed the Chansey as well, and Chansey can't Toxic me, so that's maybe the one saving grace, is he maybe doesn't try and Toxic Stall here because of Steeler. Otherwise, it is a very effective strategy here because I do really struggle to break. Zapdos has got the Protective Pads, which is an item I've never actually used before. If you don't know, it's fairly obscure, I guess, but it's mainly seen on Melmetal to stop it taking Rocky Helmet Iron Barbs damage, which is one of the main ways that people deal with Melmetal. It just stops any contact reliant things happening to your mon, so it stops it taking the recoil damage from like Rocky Helmet and stuff, or in this case it stops my Zapdos getting staticked by the opposing Zapdos if I'm U-turning on it and stuff like that. We've got Agility because Zapdos doesn't get a fourth move, and in the late game I could potentially Agility up and be faster than a Scarf Drill and a Lati and Sneeze or whatever I can do and just sweep the game from there. In theory though, this is going to be something that's going to be dealing with Chansey and Venusaur quite well. If Zapdos goes down, this puts in so much work just in terms of it hitting really, really hard. The speed is for Drill, I'm assuming. If it's Scarfed Extra Drill, Steeler walls it all day. If it's set up Extra Drill, it doesn't really matter. Zapdos can just kill it on Revenge or whatever, and I can do damage to it with Steeler and stuff like that. So it's not that big a deal. If he wants to go that role, it could be quite annoying though, because it can get rid of Steeler on its own. That would just be unfortunate. AV Swamput's coming back again. I hate the fact that I've had to bring this 3 weeks in a row, but it just kind of has to happen again. Otherwise, Chandelure is an incredible, incredible threat. I kind of just have to do this. This also checks Zapdos incredibly well, which is mainly what it's here for. It switches in on Zapdos and it clicks Flip Turn, and I get out into something else on the Zapdos pretty much. Earthquake hits very hard against stuff. Brick Break is going to allow me to do a lot of damage to Chansey. It can help me pick off a Chansey if it's weakened and we're in the late game. And then Lariat is nice because it allows me to actually 1v1 the Lati because of how especially bulky I am. I actually only take like, I mean, it's 37 max from a Draco. If it's Specs Lati or something, which is absolutely insane, that's better than Steeler takes those hits. Well, it's not. Steeler takes those better, but Mystical Fire does a bit more. So Swampert is technically the better Lati switch in overall, but it's needed for other stuff. In this one, it's also kind of free to come in on a lot of different stuff and then just flip turn out, hopefully, in this one. And then Forges is actually the win con here. I was kind of a thought I had where I was like, okay, I really struggle to break through this team. Let's bring a bulky sweeper and make sure I don't have to break through this team. And the only slight issue with this is I think I'm going to have to rejig the EVs so that I two-shot Chansey at +6. Because I actually currently don't. But I want to balance it so that Drill can't one-shot me if it's Adamant, like Adamant Scarf. So I'm just going to work through those EVs currently. This can also just act as a good special wall to maybe deal with Lati or deal with ZAPDOS maybe. It can kind of do that. If he really tries to preserve the Drill, then I'm going to have to play it that way. But there is a potential scenario where this set puts an incredible amount of work. Is 100 enough? 100 is actually, yeah. So if we put 100 special attack in, this is probably longer than normal, but you know. And then we've got 156 defense. That should still live like a Jolly Drill. Yeah, it still lives Jolly Drill. I just don't live Adamant Drill. So it's not the end of the world. And it's actually a 50% roll on Adamant Drill still. So it's not, well, that is a leftover set as well, to be fair. But that's the same if he's Scarfed. And then Moonblaster +6 will actually kill if we get to that point. So that's going to be winning once Drill is gone. So obviously, you know, the idea is if I can maybe eliminate Drill by like getting rid of sacking Coco pretty much and doing that, that's actually an okay trade for me because then it allows this bulky Forges to win, because especially if he brings a bulky build here, he's going to struggle to beat me 100%. We've got Calm Mind, as I said. We've got Moonblast because it's just a good move to hit. We've got Synthesis to heal up, although Wish would work, but just in case I need to, it's the immediate healing from Synthesis that I like. And then Heal Bell to get rid of any potential toxics. I may actually switch it to Wish. I think I'm going to switch it to Wish. I think that is the difference. You probably couldn't see most of that because the way it's cropped. And then finishing off, we've got Absol here with Knockoff, Aerial Ace, Ice Beam, Close Combat. This does an okay job of potentially trying to break through stuff. Aerial Ace does 40% of Venusaur, so if Venusaur is weakened, knockoff plus Aerial Ace can kill at like 60. Ice Beam does quite a bit to ZAPDOS, which is nice, and then Close Combat. And then Close Combat's going to be doing. It's going to be killing Excadrill. It's going to be killing Sneasel. It's going to be doing a lot to Chansey. Chansey isn't going to want to come in and get knocked off anyway, though, so I'm not sure how likely it is I'll be doing that. I may just be clicking Close Combat into an Eviolite. Chansey, which still does like 50%, I believe. Unfortunately, you do have to run max speed to speed tie the Sneasel. I didn't want to underprep that much for Sneasel, to be honest. And it's also I'm faster than Lati. That's where we're at. So that's the team. I do actually pretty much like where we are. I just changed that one move on Florges because I think it's going to be setting up on Chansey, essentially. So Wish is going to be the better play there. In all scenarios, pretty much. So that'll be that, and I'll see you guys in the battle. That's the wrong tab. Okay, so we're in a, well, I say we, I'm in a weird situation here where the main thing that stopped Florges sweeping has not shown, but then also the main thing that Florges set up on has not shown. I can probably set up on Vaporeon though. Let me just throw a calc in on that. With this Florges, I regret having the random 100 special attack now, because obviously being bulkier would be nice, especially for like Psyshock Lati. But oh yeah, that's a definite. I can definitely set up on the Vaporeon all the way to +6. I want to, and he's got no way to. He has absolutely no way to punish that. This team is so specially offensive, which makes me think it might be Belly Drum Slurpuff, you know, because. Otherwise, this team is incredibly specially offensive. I don't really have a surface to write on. So, we see the ZAPDOS, no surprise there, probably bulky. So I was saying, Chandelure, based on this composition, could very easily be Scarfed. Venu's probably going to be more specially bulky, I'd have to imagine. Lati is probably going to be more offensive, maybe even Calm Mind. Vape's probably going to do a bit of both. I guess it's there because he was maybe a bit worried about Starmie. It also stops Swamp at flip turning because of Water Absorb, so that's something to keep in mind. And then we've got Puff. So that's maybe why he's gone Swamp at, that's why he's gone with Vape there, because he was scared of Swamp at being able to flip turn for free. Which that's a fair idea. But my Coco looks incredible here, straight off the bat. Absolutely incredible. Let me check it against that same Vaporeon set, physically defensive. We're almost killing with Wild Charge straight off the bat there. I'm thinking I want to lead with Coco. Would Chandelure kill me? No, unless it's Specs. But if it's although if it's Modest, it probably would. Is that what we're saying? But yeah, so I think Coco's the lead here because because Slurpuff won't like it. Slurpuff is offensive, is almost gonna die. So yeah, I'm down to lead Coco and probably U-turn on the Slurpuff and U-turn on the Lati obviously, and U-turn on Venusaur, but on maybe a Zapdos lead, I go for Wild Charge. On a Chandelure, yeah, so on a Vaporeon lead, I go for Wild Charge. The one thing I'm very glad I don't see is hazards, other than potential Slurpuff Sticky Web. Actually, yeah, so if it's Slurpuff Sticky Web, what's my best bet bleeding against that? It's, I think it's just to go Coco and hit very offensively to start with, so I'm going to do that. I lead Coco. He leads Zapdos, so that's perfect. I like this situation. I'm just going to go for a hard Wild Charge turn 1 here. And hopefully the Venusaur is going to be specially defensive coming in here. And it's going to take a lot from Wild Charge. And then it will die to Brave Bird. So that's always nice. He really doesn't have a switch into this. So Coco is very good to keep around for late game as well. The more I'm looking at this team composition, I'm thinking it is Scarf Shandy. Zapdos is going to take a lot there. I'm surprised it stayed in. It just roosted turn 1, so that's fine. It will either roost again here, or he'll switch out maybe into the Venusaur. What's the most that ZAPDOS can do to me? Because based on that, it's bulky, right? It's more than bulky. I did what? 55. So it's max, right? It's max. It's definitely max. Yeah, I'm calling max on that. I'm calling max defense on that one. So I'm thinking it's not offensive is the point. So the most he can do is like a heat wave, which is doing 40. I would take another 18 in recoil, and I'd take another take another 27 in recoil. So I will live regardless. So I'm just gonna wild charge again. If he stays in again, he might just roost again. Realistically, he might be waiting for me to roost, so I'll just roost this time. He's actually losing HP here. It's actually not lefties, so it's probably boots. I will show roost here, which means he can't just sit here and roost stall me, which I think I'm okay with. If he switches this turn, that's just a god tier play, like low key. Well, not god tier, but it's a good play if he switches this turn. To be fair, this Coco is going to put in a lot of work. I like where I sit with this Coco. He's really thinking about what to do here. I think if I don't have Roost, his best play is to just keep clicking Roost. I'm about to show Roost, so I'm very glad I have Roost because you know this was always going to happen. Let me mute my phone because I did not do that. He actually T-bolted that turn, so we see T-bolt. And now he's thinking, oh, for goodness sake, it's got Roost as well. What the hell do I do? I'm waiting for him to pull a switch. Because we're at the same... That's actually very helpful damage-wise, that he's got me down to the same amount I was at before. So I know I'm fine in this interaction under all circumstances. I'm thinking he maybe roosts once more, then pulls a switch, will be roosting that turn, if I had to guess. He probably roosts here. I had to guess, yep, he roosts here, and then he'll probably pull a switch this turn on me roosting. No, he actually stays in still. Maybe U-turns. No, he'll just roost again. So he's wasting roosts. Ah, he was stalling out my terrain. That makes sense. He was indeed stalling out my terrain. How much do I do without terrain? Not that much. Yes, I did not consider terrain stall. That would be a thing. He may U-turn this time. I think I'll U-turn myself because I can't get paralyzed. I'll just U-turn myself. That will do 11. I'll take that, and I'll just go out into my Swampert here. He might U-turn here. He actually goes for toxic. Okay, that's absolutely fine. Probable vape coming in here, if I had to guess. So I'm going to double back into my Coco on the vape, trying to stop me flip turning. And if he just attacks, that's fine. I can roost off the damage. It's not bad at all. He did stay in. He U-turned. Okay, that makes sense. He'll go into Venusaur here, I'd imagine. Or please go Chandelier and show me your Scarf. That would be very nice if you do that. So we've seen the entire set actually. Steve Bolt, Toxic, Roost, and U-turn. So it loses to Florges all day long. Eventually, I can set up on this with Florges, is what I mean by that. And honestly, as soon as I see what the Slurp off is, Florges can just go straight for the setup. Is what I'm seeing here. Oh, I've got a very annoying cough currently. Yeah, it does go Venusaur. So this is definitely gonna. He's just checking Brave Bird damage, I think. On this, what I will just do is I'll just check Florges against Latios. If it's specs, how much is a Psyshock gonna do? A little bit too much, realistically. So Yeah, I'm going to need damage off on Lati, for sure. I'll just U-turn here. And the nice thing about Electric Terrain is it means he can't sleep Celesteela. He'll probably go for a Leech Seed here if I had to guess, to be fair. I don't want to risk that though, really, so I'm just going to... Actually, I could aggressively U-turn into Zapdos. How much is Zapdos going to take from a Mega Venusaur's Sludge Bomb? Probably too much, I'd imagine. Yeah, that's a bit too much for me. I'll just U-turn. In case he tries to pull a double. I feel like he wouldn't, though. I feel like he'd just go for Leech Seed, if I had to guess. Or he'll just attack. So I think I'll just hard Steeler, actually, because I don't really want to take another 10% from Life Orb. So yeah, I'll just hard Steeler here. Yeah, I'll just hard Steeler on him actually doubling Vaporeon, so U-turn would have been a good play there. Blimey. I'll just go for a Leech Seed. If he goes back into Venusaur, that's fine. That's kind of where I want him to be with Venusaur, to be honest. So I'll Leech Seed. I'll just Leech Seed here. He's likely to Flip Turn, but I don't know. This might actually be faster because I'm minus speed nature. This could be faster because I'm minus speed nature. Let me just hold on. Let me just before I miss the turn. Let me check 0 speed Vaporeon against Steeler because I may have accidentally pulled off a Master Stroke there by being slower than Vaporeon because his flip turns can be faster. He just Scalds and does a little bit. Burn wouldn't have mattered because I have Heal Bell, so I don't really care about that. But we see Scald. He seems to want to be staying in. I feel like he could try and go... I'm going to try and predict a switch here. I'm going to Leech Seed again, I think. He is faster, so that's nice. Let me just make a note of that. Faster than Steeler. Which actually really works out in my favour because he can't get Flip Turn momentum off me. I'm just going to Leech Seed predicting a switch because, like, what's he going to do? Yeah, he Flip Turns. Either going to go Zapdos or Shandy here, I'd imagine. Or he could go Venusaur, hard predicting... Leech Seed, I don't mind that, I just get to click Air Slash the following turn. I'd imagine he goes Zapdos though. Yep, goes into Zapdos, hit this Leech Seed please, very nice. I don't need another Leech Seed miss. We're just getting a bit of damage off here. He may defog to get rid of Leech Seed, potentially. More likely he's just going to click U-turn or a electric move. I just want to see what the Lati is and what the Slurpuff is before I try and pull the trigger with Florges. Okay. Yeah. So I really don't need to go +6 here. I can go +3, I think, and it will be enough. It'll be more than enough. I may even only need +2. Although if we look at the Zapdos damage... yeah, +3, I think the aim is +3. Yeah, the aim is +3. Aim for +3. He's probably going to U-turn here. I don't want to be risking Steeler though, under any circumstance. So I'm just going to go into my safe Swampert, which is the expendable member of the team pretty much. He does just U-turn, gets a crit, which is kind of annoying. And he'll just go back out into Venusaur here, yeah, unsurprising. Surprising. I'm just gonna go Steeler again. If he makes a play and goes out into Zapdos, I mean, I don't really mind. I think I just need an opportunity for Lodges to set up and I should be okay. And the only hiccup to that is if the Lati is Scarf. But even if I go +1, I think I kill Lati. Yeah. So that's enough, is the thing. That is enough. So yeah, I'll just go Steeler. He actually Sunny Days. Okay. That's cool. So this is going to be Chlorophyll. He's not going to Mega. He's going Chlorophyll. So there's a Weather Ball coming my way. Right now, pretty much, is what I'm saying, is what I'm seeing here. Yeah, so that could then be offensive, is what I'm seeing. We're assuming that, aren't we? I'm going to protect. No, I'm not going to protect, because if he growths, I'm in a lot of trouble. If he is that, I'm just going to Air Slash. He will just Weather Ball. Gets a crit, which is annoying. I'm just going to protect here to stall out Sun. He'll just Weather Ball again. This is a good bring. This is a good ring. He's only got a couple more turns though. So it's not the end of the world. Crit is annoying. Crit has also shown me that it's not offensive, right? Because the crit did the amount the normal attack should have done. Yeah, so I'm actually fine. I'm fine. Lodges is fine. I think I actually go for double protect. Because then I have to lose something else to this Venusaur. Which I think ZAPDOS will live anything, right? It'll take a lot from Weather Ball, but I do live. Because I'm going to assume it's Chlorophyll. I'm going to assume it's Chlorophyll, so it'll be fast. So nothing I have is faster. That crit's actually really annoying because if he hadn't crit, and I get Steeler back up, get the sun up. If he hadn't, I've still got the crit activated. If he hadn't crit, the protect would have meant it wasn't a 2-shot. So I basically lose another one because of that crit, pretty much. Absol can actually live, even though I'm naive. And then I threaten Sucker Punch. So it's like, yeah, okay. I think that's what I do, yeah. So I go for double protect just in case it works. It doesn't. Yeah, crit is annoying. And then I hard go Absol because I'm just saying, oh, look, I have Sucker Punch. I'm literally going, oh look, I have Sucker Punch. We're going to make sure we Mega. We're making sure we Mega. A knockoff will kill. Oh no, I need Venusaur, right? Okay, yeah, I have to aerialate here. Yeah, okay, I scared him out, good. I scared him out, good. Okay, that's good. So, based on what that Venusaur is, Florges, sun goes up, we're looking at that. Yeah, that's a bit too much. I'm not a fan of this situation. Out of interest, how much is how much am I doing to Vaporeon? Not that much. Not that much. Let's not do that. He just kind of gets to freely flip turn here, though. Is the only other thing. Actually, under all circumstances, I'm going to kill Venusaur now, right? So I actually don't mind the Coco play. If he scolds, it's annoying because I lose turns on a burn if he gets it. Good. Okay. So I just get to roost in whatever wants to come in here. But yeah, cool Venusaur. That was a cool Venusaur. And dealt with Sealer well, which allows Slurpuff to put in a lot of work, potentially. If it is Belly Drum. But there wasn't much I could do about that Venusaur. To be fair, this matchup is just rough. This matchup is tough. I just roost in this thing's face. He's going to try and go for a burn, which is pretty smart, to be fair. I'll roost one more time, and then I'll wild charge. Unless he gets a burn, in which case I have to go Venusaur. I mean, this thing dies, right? Vaporeon, even if it's max. But I would die to recoil, I think. Yeah, I would literally die to recoil. And then there's nothing I get to roost on. So I have to keep roosting. Because there's nothing I... Well, I roost on ZAPDOS, actually. I roost on ZAPDOS. I do roost on ZAPDOS. And if I get rid of this thing, that's awesome. So yeah, I will actually wild charge this turn. He protects. He sees I go for wild charge. That's not going to help you live, though. Oh, it could. No, that's max, right? It's Lefty's fate, by the way. I haven't written that down. Min roll still kills. Min roll still kills, and we get rid of Vape, which is great. And I'll just live. I'll just live. If he goes Slurpuff, I have to just wild charge it. Because otherwise he can set Belly Drum and the game's over. Yes, if he goes Slurpuff, I just have to wild charge it in case it's Belly Drum, because if it's Belly Drum, the game is over. Actually, no, it probably doesn't matter. It's probably over anyway if he does that. Because then +6 would kill anyway. +6 would kill everything anyway, even Florges, right? Yeah. And nothing's going to be faster, because I didn't run that much speed. Steeler did beat Yeah, it's annoying because if he hadn't crit that first weather ball, protect the leftovers from Cedar would have allowed me to live a second. It would have let me live a second. So then I wouldn't have. Although I threatened him out of Absol anyway, so I guess it wouldn't have made that much difference. But another air slash would have killed. Yeah, it would have broken Stealer, which I think which was probably his aim, because then, although Slurp, because then Slurp off at +6, I assume probably kills Stealer anyway, though, right? Oh yeah, it doesn't. So that was probably the aim with that. He actually goes Lati, which I'm getting major Scarfed vibes right now. Major Scarfed vibes from this Lati. Major Scarfed vibes from this Lati. Or he's like not faking it, he's bluffing it, which he could be doing as well. I don't want to risk that though, because Coco's still really good. Draco Meteor, I basically learn what he is based on what I do with Swampert here, because the worst thing you can do is like Psyshock, and I'm pretty sure we're going to see Psyshock. Because I feel like Scarf 4 attacks with like Draco, Psychic, Psyshock, Mystical Fire works as well for him, is the thing. And actually, if he shows Scarf and we go into Florges on the Scarf, and he goes for a special attack, that's where I then set up, which is nice. Unless, how much do I do to... The thing we didn't consider is Venusaur damage off this. Is I have to go +6 probably on that. So maybe don't pull the trigger on that yet. I'm going to go into Swampert, because Swampert isn't that useful. And he will Psyshock, and it will do 32. So that is Scarfed. That is Scarfed. It is Scarfed. It is indeed Scarfed. Swampert. It's actually not... It's actually bulky. Oh, it's probably because it's got... Okay, so it's probably Scarf with extra bulk. Because of the whole, you know... It's let out on that. Is what I imagine is what this actually is. He'll probably just attack again, in which case... It's locked into Psyshock, actually. I don't want to risk it not being Scarf, though, is the only thing. Because it could just be... That's so risky, though. The entire way in which he played that makes it seem like it's Scarf. It's clearly not a boosting item, so Absol probably lives... No, it doesn't. Yeah, it does not. 100% not. I feel like it's Scarfed, but I don't want to risk that. In other news, actually, okay, yeah, this is a bit. So the scenarios here, right, are Absol is so good, is the thing. Absol is good, but he's got a Slurpuff to deal with it well. Is this living a Chandelure hit at this range? I am. Unless it's Specs. And I live Swampert. I live a ZAPDOS still. I think I'm okay with Chandelier though, with Florges. Yeah, I think I'm okay. Oh, actually, I might not be. Yeah, I'm going on Psyshock. It is actually Calm Mind, so it's not Scarf. So he did bluff Scarf there. He does show Calm Mind. So it was a Scarf bluff. So you know what this is. If it's Colbert, I think I'm okay with that. But he probably goes out and just Slurp off here. If I had to guess. And the fact that he's thinking about this, I think means that he's going out to Slurp off probably. But I don't really mind that. At this stage, I'd say. Yeah, it is Colbert, yeah. It is Colbert, so... Although Absol will actually live, which is awesome. That's a big live. He misplayed that. He misplayed that. He could have Draco'd and killed me. He could have very easily Draco'd and killed me. Ice Beam into Slurp Up is not going to do... It's going to do a good amount, actually. Does it kill +1 Lati from here? I don't know how bulky it is, though, is the thing. Oh, probably not. Probably not. We'll just knock again. Getting rid of Lati is really nice, though, because it's got Psyshock, that stopped Florges. And now if the Slurpuff is bulky, Florges wins. If I get rid of Venusaur as well. Because it beats ZAPDOS plus Shandy plus. And the way Shandy's in the back, the Shandy is scarfed, 100%. This doesn't want to take Ice Beam here. I'm just going to click Ice Beam. Or I knock its item off, which is... It's probably Boots, though, is the thing. I don't have any hazards. And Ice Beam's going to do a good half. But so is Knock. I don't want to risk getting static, though, actually, in case he roosts. So I'll just Ice Beam. Solid 50. He'll U-turn, get the kill. I get momentum here, though. So it's not too bad. That's Absol putting in a good amount of work there. Clutch live, and then getting the kill on Lati and getting a good amount off on ZAPDOS. ZAPDOS now dies coming in to my own ZAPDOS, which is clutch. Absolutely clutch. And wait, actually, yeah, my ZAPDOS wins if the Shandy isn't... Where's Kelsia? Because Slurpuff doesn't want to take it on the switch, so my ZAPDOS now gets a kill every time. Because Chandelure dies, or almost dies. Yeah. Here comes Brave Bird. Nothing wants this. Nothing wants to take this. Absolutely nothing wants to take this. And if he sacks Venusaur here, that is amazing. Because then Florges wins. This is a close one. This could go either way. I think it depends. If the Chandelure is not scarfed, that's a lot easier to deal with. If it is scarfed, then Swampert beats it 1v1. Because Florges takes a lot of damage from it, so I'm not too sure how much I like that, because I'm then risking a crit killing me. Is the thing, but if it's not scarfed, then Coco is faster and Coco kills it. Yeah. Or, like, I'd have to get incredibly unlucky to not kill it. It's a 75%... Well, it's 75% chance. Please sack your Venusaur here. I'd really love you to sack Venusaur. Because the more I'm thinking about... Because with this team, I think like the fact that he's kept... Okay, so Venusaur goes down. If he goes Slurp up, once again, I'm just Brave Birding it because I don't want it to set up. Not that I kill. I don't think I kill. He doesn't know what my set is, though, so I don't think he can risk me being banned. Because banned would kill. That's Coco. Yeah, banned would kill. Banned would kill. And he doesn't know what I am. So he can't go Slurp off here if it's set up Slurp off. He will go here if it's bulky though. If he goes Slurp off right now, he shows it's bulky. It shows it's bulky. It is Jakestemmet. Or is it Jakestemmet? It might be Jakestemmet. Sorry, Jake, if I'm getting this wrong. How much battery do I have left? Hold on. Here goes Shandy, which lives, is the key thing to point out. I have 47 minutes, we're fine. If Chandler is scarfed, does it kill ZAPDOS with anything? It can. It does 80% with Psychic. That's if it's timid though, it will probably be modest. Fireblast can do 80. If he locks into Psychic, then I do just get to set up with Florges. So I'll just click Brave Bird and get damage off. It's not scarfed, so he tried to bluff another scarf there. He'll just Flamethrower and it won't quite kill. So ZAPDOS is probably going to pick up another kill here. Which is awesome. Blatty is dead. Yeah, so ZAPDOS is going to pick up another kill here. We both did not run the speed we needed here. Both of us kind of went for a slower approach. I think it'd be interesting to see what he thought I was going to bring here, because he's gone with a very interesting approach. I think he maybe thought I was going to try and play it really bulky in this one, with the way he brought the Venusaur. Never even Mega Evolved it. He maybe didn't even have Synthesis on it or anything. It was maybe Sunny Day, Giga Drain, Sludge Bomb, Weather Ball. Because I wouldn't see him foregoing Giga Drain because of Swampert. I wouldn't see him foregoing Sludge Bomb because of Coco. Unless Weather Ball would have killed Coco. I can check that after. Bloody hell. It's because, was it Monday night? I think it was Monday night. I didn't have enough water. Went to sleep, woke up really dry throat. I've had a cough for the past couple of days. You know, fun times. He's really thinking about what he wants to do here. If it's bulky Slurpuff, he could. I was saying he could go Slurpuff. Chandler, oops, Chandler goes down. You also go down. Oh god. I go Coco, right? Oh god. What if it is Belly Drum Slurpuff? What if it is Belly Drum Slurpuff? Okay, so I go Zapdos. Zapdos. I go Coco. He goes Slurpuff on Wild Charge because I can't risk. What's the roll? What's the roll on that? Against offensive Slurpuff. I don't kill. But then I stop him belly drumming. That gets that out of the way. If he goes Zapdos, I roost. Yeah. I go Coco here. He does go Slurpuff. So I 100% just wild charge in this thing's face. I just have to wild charge in this thing's face. He goes Zapdos. I don't think it's Belly Drum. I don't think it's Belly Drum. I don't think it's Belly Drum. If it is Belly Drum, I think he still wins. But, I don't live. Yeah. So it comes down to the puff set. If it's belly drum, I lose regardless. Because even if I moonblast, I'm probably slower. I moonblast it down. I moonblast it down. It does that, but that's not going to be enough. And then it kills me with belly drum. So if it's belly drum, I lose, regardless. If it's wish, I want to be safe. If I'm, yeah, it could be wish, in which case I just calm mine, win it. If it's belly drum, I lose anyway. Is the thing. Because then what I don't want to do is accidentally take a load of damage and not do that much back. Because then I lose. So I'm gonna wish, and if it's belly drum, yeah, it's belly drum. Okay. Yeah, it's belly drum, so I lost regardless there. Not much I can do. Not much I could do there at all. He has to miss a player off, basically. Which he isn't going to do. He drain punches to be safe, yeah. Yeah, really close game there. Jake, my last 3 games have all been by 1 margins. That crit was really unfortunate because, yeah, that crit was unfortunate, but I don't know if it massively changed the outcome because Celesteela would have been very weak anyway. And yeah, it came down to that kind of 50-50 on me being there with Coco. Realistically, if I had roosted that turn, then I was in a really great spot, and maybe Roost was the better play, because if it had been bulky Slurpuff, then Roost would have worked better. But no, really close game, and unfortunately one, it's a tough matchup. He brought some really cool sets, and yeah, just an annoying one. So we go to 2-3, which should be 3-2 because of last week, but it's one of those. We're playing really close games, playing really good games here. And it's just tough, and I've lost the last couple by a really small margin. One of which was just very unfortunate. This one was this one was well played on both sides. I think we both did pretty good here. The only thing I think I maybe could have done differently is maybe if I'd gone for like maybe if I'd swapped out ZAPDOS on the Shandy. Maybe is what I'm thinking. If I swapped out ZAPDOS on the Shandy, sacked maybe Swampert there. Yeah, maybe if I'd then gone and sacked Swampert, I could maybe then say, okay, ZAPDOS can then do a lot to Slurpuff, but with that Unburden boost, it was never going to work out in the end there. Very close game, though, and massive GG's to Jake there. That was a fun game, so thank you all for watching, everybody. Goodbye.